Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be teaching you how to make two compartment purse with belt. Yes, so the measurement for this one is 9 by 5. It's going to be folded, so I would like for you to pay attention to this video. So you have to add allowance. If you can see, I'm sewing some extreme, putting some to come out just like 3/8 inches. So that is the allowance on that we're putting on both ends. So for the horizontal, which is the length, that is 9 inches, instead of 9 inches we are making it 10 inches. Like I said, if you check properly, you will see that it is a 1 inch belt, so you can easily count the boxes. So we make the breadth 9 and 10 inches for with 1 inch allowance. Then the vertical, the purse is by 5, but because we'll be folding it, everything will be by 10. You add extra 1 inch allowance to it as well. So you will sew it just like I have sewn it here. Because it's a double compartment purse, definitely everything you are doing is in two pieces. So after laying the horizontal, be sure not to mix up the length. Don't have a mix up. So after you sew the horizontal on the vertical, you follow through. It's going to be like an L shape. One important thing to note when you are sewing it is you ensure these things are as close as possible so that there will not be excess or loose space in between your sewing. Now we are done with the sewing. It is time to weave it. So I used this tailor's pin to knit it, to weave it one by one box on one box. So when you are weaving it, ensure that it is as close as possible so it will not be loose. If it is loose, it will not bring out that beautiful purse that you are looking for. So that is why I'm weaving it one box at a time. That way, to give it the firmness that you are looking for. I know some people will want to weave everything, all at once. That one might actually not give you the firmness, or some might even be rough. So that is why I'm taking my time to weave it one by one. I'm sure you can see the allowance on both edges. That's the allowance that I was talking about. Also, one thing I want you to note is when you were sewing it, ensure that you sew it in the up down, one on top, one at the bottom as you are sewing it, so that it will give you this uniform box. If you notice, you put one up and down will go down. If you did not sew it well, it's not going to be like this. So that is even how you will know that you have made a mistake. So just continue the weaving, ensuring it is firm. Meanwhile, if you are enjoying this video so far, I'd like for you to like and subscribe so that you will be notified whenever we drop the next video. So I've gotten to the last line of this first compartment. Like I said, whatever you are doing, it's going to be double since it's two compartments. You can leave it like this. One compartment too also is beautiful. But then if you look at the weaving now, you see it is smooth and firm. That's why I advise that you weave it box by box so that the beauty can come out. It's not going to be good if it's all rough. It's not going to be easy to straighten after you finish weaving it. Now there you have it. We have the two compartments ready. We we weaved both sides. So now we'll go ahead to remove the pins. Now I don't advise that you just sew it straight like that. Sometimes you just want to ensure that the whole side is as smooth as possible. So you remove the pin one by one, straightening it, ensuring that everything is firm, especially this last one that the pins are on, they can be loose. So you'll be arranging it one by one just to ensure everything is perfect and beautiful. So that what you are sewing can come out excellently well, I advise that you sew close to the edge, so that your sewing will not just be in the middle of all that you're sewing. So yes, we have removed the pin for both sides. Now we'll go ahead to trim it evenly. This allowance is going to be the one that we'll use to join it. So you trim it evenly. You will not cut it off completely. You will leave like 2 to 3/8 inches at the edge. After you trim it off, then we'll go ahead and burn the edges so that the ropes will not loose and come out. This is mainly burning the edge like I mentioned. Then you have to be careful not to overdo it. It's just to burn it slightly so that it's going to be thick enough not to start removing thread. You don't want it to burn so much that it begins to remove fire. So now what we are going to do is place it together firmly. You know, it's a 2 compartment, so we want to sew it, want to attach it together. Now remember I told you the height is by 5, so we'll count 5 boxes and we'll just sew from the second box to the 4th box, leaving 1 box on top and 1 box down. So this is us just sewing it, and then by the side you leave 2 boxes enough. I'm sure that as you continue to watch this video you will understand why. So we are not going to sew it completely because these edges, they are still not finished because we still need to sew the lining. So you will sew this rectangle in between of the allowance. Like I said, this is a 9 by 10 inches purse, so there are 10 boxes for the vertical. You just sew in between the very first one, the second to the 4th. Then now we'll put lining for finishing. You sew it on them. Meanwhile, you have to be very careful so you don't sew it on the 2 together. So this time around we are sewing it first on the first side, so we are being careful not to adjoin both together. So we are sewing the lining on this first side and the lining on the second side. After sewing the lining, then you trim off the excess, ensure it is neat. Don't cut into your allowance. Now that we are done with the lining, it's time to tape all the four edges up down for the both compartments. And after taping that, we'll fix the zip. I think we can see how the purse is attached to each other. I know you remember how we sewed it. We did not sew it completely. We just sewed, three boxes in between the first side. So now that we are sewing the zip, you ensure that your zip is firm. Ensure it is very firm. You sew two sides and then share the zips to the remaining two. Now that we are done with the zip, it's time to start the finishing. So you fold one inside, then you cover it with the other one. I'm sure you have seen how we sewed it as well. So you fold this one, then cover it with the other one. You are sewing from outside to inside. After that, you trim excess zip and fix in a zipper. So after fixing it, you have to close it to ensure it's closed. Then you go ahead and then fix the zip to it. Now the first one you fix is just to zip it completely. Then this second one, you are going to fix it into it. Then we go ahead and sew them together. You sew it straight down. Ensure that the one inside is not sewing because it's going to be a problem. Then you sew the other side too as well. I like to tape this side that I've sewn for the inside to look neat. So after that, you trim off the excess and then you sew the taping on it. Now that is what the allowance is meant for. The allowance is meant for you to sew so that the boxes will still be looking very bright on the outside. When we are done with that one, what we do is we'll turn it inside out. We turn it inside out. By the time we turn it inside out, we'll be left with the other compartments, and we'll sew it the same way. When you are turning, ensure you bring all the sides outside properly so that it will look very firm and beautiful. So when we are done with this one, the same way we sewed the first one, we'll cover it up with the other one, fix our zipper, and sew it as well. Ensure that you fold it properly inside so that there is no issue of you sewing on the one that is inside. Now that we have sewed outside, now it's time to turn it inside out as well, ensuring that all sides come out well. Now if you have not weaved it well, you'll be seeing hole when you are turning, but that is why I advise that you weave it properly so there will be no box or hole, loose areas in your weaving. Ensure to push all the corners out. You can use a sharp object to ensure those corners are out. So I want you to look at the sewing, what we did to the sewing again. Remember, we are just sewing 3 boxes in at the other side. And yes, this is what the purse looks like after we are done with it. So guys, thank you so much for watching my channel, and I want you to like and subscribe to this channel so that when next we are dropping another video, you will be first to learn or know about it. Thank you.